Welcome back to my channel, The Coins World. Today, we are going to dive into the fascinating and detailed history of the Philippine 25 centimo coin from 1979. Though small in denomination, this coin reflects a remarkable chapter in the Philippines' economic, political, and cultural story. With 30 paragraphs ahead, you'll see how this coin is more than just loose change. It is a piece of history that continues to spark curiosity and nostalgia. The 1979-5 centimo coin was part of the Angi Bagong Lipunan coin series introduced during the regime of President Ferdinand Marcos. These coins carried not only monetary value but also political symbolism, reinforcing the image of the so-called new society. The Angi Bagong Lipunan slogan printed on the coin was more than just words. It was part of a nationwide campaign to project discipline, order, and national pride under martial law. Every Filipino who held the coin saw this daily reminder. The obverse of the 1979 25 centimo featured the image of Juan Luna, one of the greatest Filipino painters and a national hero. He is best remembered for his masterpiece Spoliarium, which won international acclaim. Luna's inclusion on the coin symbolized not only artistic genius, but also patriotism. He was an active participant in the Philippine Revolution, showing that heroes come not only from the battlefield, but also from culture and the arts. The reverse side of the coin displayed the official seal of the Republic of the Philippines, along with Republica ng Pilipinas and the year of minting, 1979. This design tied the coin to the nation's identity. Made of copper nickel, the 25 centimo coin had a silvery appearance. Its composition gave it durability and a pleasant shine that distinguished it from the smaller aluminum coins in circulation. The coin had a diameter of 20 millimeters and was slightly heavier than the 10 and 5 centimo pieces. This size made it practical for everyday transactions. In 1979, the Philippine economy was struggling, but the 25 centimo coin still had purchasing power. You could use it to buy small snacks, pay part of jeepney fares, or purchase household necessities. Children of that time fondly remember 25 centimo coins as part of their allowance. Many recall the excitement of saving enough to buy ice, drops, candies, or comic books. The 1979 issue carried a sense of optimism as it was minted during the height of Marcos' campaign to present the Philippines as a strong and orderly nation. Coins became carriers of this vision. The phrase Angi Bagong Lipunan was not just political rhetoric but a branding strategy. By printing it on coins, Marcos tied his legacy to something that touched every Filipino's hands daily. For collectors today, the 1979-5 centimo is a highly symbolic coin. Its historical context, combined with the portrait of Luna, makes it a centerpiece in Philippine numismatic collections. Imagine finding a coin in your pocket, change that looks just like every other quarter you've seen, but in reality, it holds a story so rich and potential value so surprising that it could actually change the way you look at your everyday money. That is exactly the case with the Liberty quarter dollar from 2019. If you have one of these coins lying around, it might just turn the tables for you. Stick around until the end of this video, because I'll take you through its fascinating history, the value it can reach on eBay and other platforms, and finally, how you can sell it. The quarter dollar from 2019 belongs to the famous America the Beautiful series, which ran from 2010 through 2021. This series was one of the most ambitious coin programs in U.S. history, created to honor national parks, historic sites, and cultural landmarks across the country. The program was a continuation of the U.S. Mint's efforts to make coinage more educational, visually appealing, and collectible for the American people. Each year, -1 new designs were released, and 2019 featured some of the most visually striking and historically meaningful coins in the entire series. The featured designs included Lowell National Historical Park in Massachusetts, American Memorial Park in the Northern Mariana Islands, War in the Pacific National Historical Park in Guam, San Antonio Missions National Historical Park in Texas, and Frank Church River of No Return Wilderness in Idaho. Each one told a different story of America's culture, sacrifices, industry, and natural beauty. Collectors loved the 2019 quarters not only because of their designs but also because of their symbolism. For example, the Lowell quarter honored the women who worked in the textile mills of Massachusetts, a reminder of the nation's industrial revolution and women's contribution to economic development. The war in the Pacific Quarter paid tribute to the sacrifices of American forces during World War II, while the San Antonio Missions Quarter reflected the Spanish colonial influence that shaped Texas history. But beyond the history and design, what makes the 2019 Liberty Quarter dollar particularly interesting is the value it holds today in the collector's market. While millions of these coins were minted, special conditions, errors, and limited editions drive their worth. The U.S. Mint also issued proof and silver proof sets in 2019, which are highly sought after by collectors. Coins from these sets often remain in pristine condition, untouched by circulation, and their value can rise significantly compared to standard quarters. Even more exciting are the error coins. In 2019, collectors discovered various striking errors such as off-center strikes, double dies, and weak impressions. These error coins, while rare, can fetch far higher prices than their face value. For example, eBay listings show some rare 2019 error quarters selling for hundreds of dollars, while others graded that goes beyond its face value. Today, we are going deep into the fascinating world of Philippine coinage as we explore the history, design, and legacy of the Philippine 1 piso coin from 1990. At first glance, it may look like just an ordinary coin, but when you uncover its background, you'll realize it is part of a rich narrative of national identity, politics, economics, and cultural pride. So let's dive into the journey of this coin and see why it deserves a closer look. The 1 piso coin from 1990 belongs to the Flora and Fauna series, one of the most memorable and distinctive series of Philippine coinage. This series was introduced in 1983 and continued until 1994. It was unique because it highlighted not just the heroes of the Philippines, but also its rich biodiversity, displaying native plants and animals alongside national leaders. This combination made the coins highly educational and symbolic of the Philippines' heritage. On the obverse of the 19901 piso coin you will find the bust of Jose Rizal, the country's national hero. Rizal was not just a writer and reformist, but also a symbol of Filipino resilience and intellect. His ideas inspired a revolution, and his face on the coin reminds every Filipino of the sacrifice and vision he stood for. By placing Rizal on the 1 piso, the government honored his memory and ensured that his ideals remained close to the people. The reverse of the coin features the image of the Philippine tamaraw, a small but powerful wild buffalo native to Mindoro Island. The tamaraw is an endangered species and has been a symbol of strength and independence. By placing it on the 1 piso coin, the Philippines highlighted its commitment to conserving wildlife and preserving national treasures, not only in culture but also in nature. The choice of the tamaraw was deliberate and meaningful. The tamaraw is smaller than the carabao but incredibly tough and resilient. This reflects the Filipino spirit, strong, enduring, and resourceful in the face of challenges. At a time when the Philippines was emerging from political turmoil in the 1980 South and moving towards rebuilding, the tamaraw served as a perfect representation of survival and hope. The coin itself was made of copper nickel, giving it durability and resistance to corrosion. Its diameter was 29 millimeters, and it had a smooth edge. This made it slightly larger than the coins that came before it, giving it a solid feel in the hand. Many Filipinos who used the 1990 1 piso coin remember its weight and shine, making it distinct in everyday transactions, preserving wildlife and respecting the environment. Thus, the coin carries both cultural and ecological symbolism. Imagine holding a small piece of copper in your hand that carries nearly a century of American history, a coin that has survived the Great Depression, the hardships of families struggling to rebuild, and the changing tides of the 20th century. That is the magic of the Liberty wheat penny from 1927. At first glance, it may look like just another old coin, but if you own one of these, it might just turn the tables for you. Stay with me until the end of this video, because we will dive into its fascinating story, explore how much it can be worth on eBay and other platforms, and finally I'll reveal how you can sell it for the best value. The 1927 wheat penny belongs to the iconic Lincoln Cent series, which first appeared in 1909 to honor the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. This was the first American coin to feature a real historical figure instead of an allegorical design, and it set the stage for modern U.S. coinage. Victor David Brenner designed the coin with Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and two simple wheat stalks on the reverse, representing America's agricultural strength and prosperity. By 1927, the United States was enjoying the prosperity of the Roaring Twenties. Factories were producing more than ever, cities were expanding, and jazz echoed through dance halls across the nation. Yet this prosperity was fragile, and only 2 years later the stock market crash of 1929 would plunge America into the Great Depression. The 1927 penny, therefore, stands as one of the last coins struck in this period of optimism before economic turmoil reshaped the country. The Philadelphia Mint produced the bulk of 1927 wheat pennies, while smaller numbers came from the Denver and San Francisco mints. The Philadelphia coin carries no mint mark, while Denver coins bear a small d and San Francisco coins a tiny s beneath the date. Collectors prize these mint marks because they reveal where a coin was made and because some mints produced far fewer coins, making them scarcer today. In fact, the 1927 S penny is one of the lower mintage pieces of that year, which makes it more valuable to collectors who want to complete a full set. While millions were minted, far fewer survive in high grades, especially since most were heavily circulated during decade of the Liberty 5-cent coin from 1984. Now let me tell you this right at the start. If you own this coin, it might just turn the tables for you. So stick around until the end, because I will reveal its real worth according to eBay, auction houses, and other online platforms, and more importantly, how you can sell it. But at the very end, instead of giving away every detail here, I will ask you to comment price in the comment box, and I will personally guide you with the latest value and the exact selling procedure. The Liberty 5-cent coin, more commonly known as the Jefferson nickel in 1984, has a history rooted in American tradition and post-war identity. Introduced in 1938 to replace the Buffalo nickel, it featured the image of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States and author of the Declaration of Independence. This design carried on for decades, becoming one of the most recognizable coins in circulation. By 1984, the Jefferson nickel had already been a familiar sight for nearly half a century, making it not only a circulating coin but also a piece of cultural continuity. Designed by sculptor Felix Schlag, the obverse features the iconic portrait of Jefferson. The reverse shows Monticello, his Virginia estate, a structure that represents Jefferson's vision of architecture, learning, and personal legacy. In 1984, the design was unchanged, but the condition and mending details of the coin gave it unique collectible appeal. The 1984 Jefferson nickel was struck at multiple mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia coins carry no mint mark. Denver coins are marked with a D, and San Francisco produced proof issues with the S mint mark. While most of these nickels were produced in massive numbers for circulation, the proof strikes from San Francisco, with their mirror-like surfaces, are especially valued among collectors. What makes the 1984 nickel particularly interesting are the errors and varieties that emerged during its production. Collectors pay close attention to double die obverses, repunched mint marks, and even off-center strikes. These errors, though unintended by the U.S. Mint, add significant value to coins that otherwise would be worth only face value. The historical importance of the Jefferson nickel series cannot be overstated. It represents stability during an era of change in American coinage. By 1984, other denominations like the penny had already undergone shifts in composition, moving from copper to copper-plated zinc, but the nickel retained its original 75% copper and 25% nickel alloy. This continuity gave the coin a reassuring familiarity to the American public.